Hovertech. Just a button away.
In this video tutorial, I'll explain how to unpack and repack super image on your Android device. You'll be using a Linux-based PC. I'm using Ubuntu in this case. First off, you would need your super image. I have mine over here. I should mention that for this focuses on ext4 file systems, but if your device uses EROFs, which is a newer file system, you first have to extract your super image, then convert the files to from EROFs to ext4. Then you go ahead with this guide. I will link to that in this video. So let's go ahead. I have outlined the commands over here to make it very easy for you to follow. So first, I will convert my super image to ext4. This might take a while, so you have to be patient. Now, once this is done, you come over here and confirm. I have my system ext. So let's go ahead. Next, I'm going to extract this using LP Unpack. Alright, so that is done. Now, if I check my working directory, you can see I have several files. Now, my product underscore A, product underscore B, system underscore A, system underscore B, system ext underscore A, system ext underscore B, vendor underscore A, and vendor underscore B. So these are the extracted files here. Now, from this point, you can decide to modify your files. Now, as I said, if these files are EROF files, that they use the EROF system, it means you have to convert them from EROF to ext4 before you proceed. I'll link to a guide on how to do this. But if you're an ext4, you are good to go. Now, say I want to modify system, for example. This is what the command sequence would look like. I'm going to resize. Then I'm going to create a directory named system. This is where my mounted files will be saved into. So I love to clear my terminal so everything is all clean. So next, I'm going to mount the system image into the system directory. And if I check my system directory now, I will have my files. So from this point now, you can modify your files however you want. Usually I copy the files I intend to change out, I modify them, then I copy them back using the sudo command in terminal. So once you are done making your changes, you are going to unmount. Make sure you exit the system directory before you unmount. If not, you get a busy error. You notice I did that. So and now mount is done. To confirm that is done, you can go back and open and it should be empty. All good. So now we are going to resize and fix our file system to be sure that everything is just fine. All right, so that is done. So you can make any other changes you want to your vendor or any other partition you want to make a changes to. Now let's talk about repacking proper. Now before I talk about repacking, you have to enumerate the sizes of all the partitions which have been extracted, and that's what this command is for. Now just take note of this part. It's repeated, all right? This is what gives me the file size of each of the files, okay? So once I run this command, and here I have all the sizes. Okay, so take note of this output. Now you also want to know the size of your system of your super partition. So, or I usually get that from the file size of the super.ext. So I go L, I run this command, and that gives me something like this. Now I take note of this. This is the value I'm talking about. For Mediatek devices, you can get this size from the scatter file. Now, with all these sizes in place, I can now proceed to repack my super image. Now, this is what the command looks like, but I will explain it to you so you can make necessary changes that apply to your situation. So, LP make, of course, and each of the flags goes like this. For output, you are going to choose the file name of generated super image. I have mine set to this. Sparse will generate a sparse image which I can easily flash in fastboot. Metadata size, this should be a multiple of 512. So this value looks just about good. Super name, I usually give mine, just leave that as super. Now, metadata slots, if your device is A only, that will be 1, and if it's AB, that will be 2. Device, I set that to super, and then the size which I obtained from here. Now, group, if your device is A only, you would have just one group. And if it's AB, that will be two groups. So you can name the groups whatever you want. I just went with slot A and slot B. So I have group slot A. This value here is the sum of the values of all the sizes of the underscore A files. What do I mean by that? When I rerun this command, system A, system ext product A, and vendor A, I sum up the size values, right? And that will give me this value over here. Then for group slot B, I would sum up the file sizes of all the underscore B files or partitions, and then that will be the value here. Now for partition, you just essentially repeat this for each of the files or each of the partitions. So I'll take this for example. Now product A is the partition name. This value here, none, can be either none or read only. If it's none, that will be read write. If it's read only, that will leave it as read only. This here is the value, is the size of this file name listed here, product underscore a dot img. And then slot A here is the group name, which I gave to the slot A partitions. And then, of course, the image references the partition name and the file name. So you just repeat that for all the other partitions and you have your LP make command. So with that done, you go ahead and run your command. I'll link to a guide on how to set up your partition tools. That's your LP unpack, LP make, and also your ext4 utils. That's your SIMG to IMG and the rest. So you just wait while this generates your super image. All right, that is done. Now, if you check your directory, you should find this file here, and that is done. So that's how to unpack and repack your super image using a Linux based PC, Ubuntu in this case.